Finally here, east of Tahoe. Nice trail systems. It's a relief for once. Not bushwhacking for once in Nevada. Exceptionally tall pines here of the Jeffrey variety. Nice music firs as well. We're in a different realm here in the Sierra. Got shrubby oaks. Quercus vaccinifolia. Entire margins on those leaves. Not readily apparently oak-like. Spend a lot of time here over the next week or so. Getting to know this place pretty well. These are oak relatives. Chinquapins. See those yellow abaxial or undersurfaces of the leaves. Not much going on reproductively here. Seems dry out here. As per usual in the California floristic province these days. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see their spiny fruits though. They're not Quercus, they're Chrysolepis. There are Quercus here too though, of the entire leaf variety. I'm hoping to see all these common things in reproductive state somewhere. Where I'm starting out here near Spooner Pass, where I've been before on the Tahoe Rim Trail so many years ago, nearly 14 years ago. Pretty dry out here for late May, I would say. Not seeing much going on yet. That should change over the next week or so as we get higher and wetter and check out lower canyons as well. This is something else. Got our massive cones of our Jeffreys. Far bigger than any cones you'll find elsewhere in Nevada. Their sagebrush. You get something so bright it looks like trash these days. It's not. It's Sarcodes. See the 5-petaled, almost blueberry-esque flowers in there. Is a member of the blueberry family. Although it's in a group with superior ovaries. 5 petals, very glandular. 5 brighter, fleshier sepals. Ten or so stamens. Capitate or head-like stigma there. I can't see this too well on video, but I'm poor. That's my technology at the moment. if you'll forgive me. An exceptional parasitic plant though, no chlorophyll. Quite dense with flowers. When you look closer underneath all these bracts, not leaves. This thing is not photosynthetic. These are floral bracts, strictly. Stunning plant. I've seen it on specimens before, or in specimen form rather. It's just so exceptionally bright, popping out of this relatively brightly green Sierra landscape. Brighter green than most of our other Nevada ranges. Not super unlike somewhere like the Jarbidge or the rubies though, except for the conifers and some other trees that we're only going to see and learn here. Can't wait. I know a lot of them. Forget cedars here. I don't know where though. Seen tons of specimens. I don't know if we're gonna run into cedars on open slopes. Looks aspens. Lower canyons. The higher peaks, I have no clue. Surprises in store ahead. Here's the fruit of the chinquapins. A lot spinier than acorns. That's a key difference. Starting up First Sierra Peak of Nevada on this trip. Amongst this pine and fir forest with manzanitas and chinquapins common in the understories. Occasional sagebrush too even. It's a fairly nondescript forested bump up there. We'll head along the line for a couple more peaks. Generally just hitting all of the high peaks in this region, except maybe Mount Rose, because I've been up there before. And it's going to take a little while, a week or more. Probably head across the valley at some point to the Pine Knot Mountains. Pretty cool, relatively high range adjacent to here. Looks quite burned out. Might be interesting things happening in the burned out openings. Definitely more Great Basin over there, just a range or two over. A lot of these things we're seeing before us here simply do not occur east of here. Somewhat steep walk upwards. Otherwise, nothing exceptional to report on Duane Bliss yet. Fairly easy for its steepness due to all the consolidated needles. Not like the barren sands and gravels we're used to elsewhere in Nevada. It's actually a well-developed duff here. And it hasn't burnt yet somehow. Quite sagebrushy up here. Duane Bliss Peak. Stupid name. Here's the sapphire of North America. Largest natural alpine lake on the continent. Pretty dramatic terrain out there in some of those Californian portions of Tahoe. Well worth a visit. I'd highly recommend that snowy area. Just go southwest of the lake. Other nice parts that way. Our Nevada portions are a bit more muted, a bit more subdued. Special nonetheless. The Sierra basically end towards the north there, and that's where the Cascades begin to pick up. Mount Shasta, which I cannot see. Maybe we would see it from Mount Rose over there. We'll be back in the Rose region. Not sure we're going to Rose proper. It's a good 10,000 foot plus area. The only part of the Nevada Sierra attaining such heights. Here we're at 8,500. Carson Valley down there. Quite green and lush. The ranch land. Still to this day. Definitely also quite suburban in manner too. And there's a couple urban centers under our gaze. It's all Douglas County that way, Minden and such. Carson City in the namesake county. That way is Washoe and Reno. We are in the Sierra of Nevada, also known as the Carson Range. Not really the Sierra Nevada though. That's the snowy portion of the Sierra. Points further south towards Mount Whitney and such. We are not in the snowy part of the Sierra. So we're in the Sierra of Nevada, not really the Sierra Nevada. Although we're attached to the Sierra Nevada, this is not the snowy portion of the Sierra. Again, that's what the name means, the snowy mountains. Nevada itself means snowed or something of that sort. Wow, Nevada's dry right now. Not so snowy. It's a pretty steep drop off to the Carson Valley. 4,000 or 5,000 feet. There's some mountain parks though. It's not that steep. Seen steeper. We've seen steeper in the Spring Mountains. Doesn't even feel all that airy up here per se compared to the springs. The springs are indeed higher. Not quite as snowy though. Surprised this close to Tahoe and Reno and the like. There's no one else out here. It's Tuesday. Almost 2.5 years since COVID struck. So I guess everyone's back to work. And that it's just not all rich and or retired folks around here necessarily. People are actually working again. It's a good thing. I was smart enough to make this my workplace. Quite a wide summit plateau up ahead of South Camp. A lot drier and more exposed. Up here, more dry as a consequence of the exposure. Sagebrush and lots of phlox. And the gooseberries are just coming back to life. Early spring, like I said. Foxes don't last too long into the summer, I might add. See, the senecios are just in bloom. Eriogonum just in leaf. Wasn't all that long ago that there was still snow melting away here. Seeing all this greenery pop up as a result. Not much else coming though. Precipitation season is over. We've got woodland creatures in this region of Nevada. Likely even bears. Birds are abundant, alive and well. Just saw 2 chippies. Squirrels here. Woodland creatures. Here is South Camp Peak. Pretty sagebrushy and modest bump. With likely a better view than I was predicting though. It still rises just a bit enough above its own plateau. The view up there should be pretty sweeping. Genoa, just a short mile or so away. Next, and we'll loop back to the car. Let the Sierra develop a little bit more. It's right around the corner. Saw 2 chippies in the rocks. Too quick and far away and small for the camera. Sierra of Nevada are quaint, yet pretty wild, and still stunning and beautiful. This is the Carson River Valley, where Carson City sits. Just to the north is the Truckee River Valley, where Reno sits. Be there next week. Both of which are fairly large rivers of the Great Basin. Therefore, all the people here. They are probably the 2 most significant rivers of the Great Basin, perhaps. Walker River also significant. Reese River is kind of significant. Humboldt River is rather significant. This road has become a stream, clearly. Thought you might want to see it though. It's quite a novelty for the state of Nevada. more akin to the, Rockies and Sierra here than the rest of Nevada. It's ephemeral though. This will be dust in a matter of less than 2 months, I would say. By middle July or so, this will probably be pretty dusty. Still quite early spring in these subalpine-ish meadows. Genoa, real quick. Last peek of this little triplet. Quite noisy up there. It's a very loud generator humming. Staying lower the rest of today's and into tomorrow's walk. Let you know if anything new pops up. Carson Range is rather sterile, at least late May in this part. I do imagine canyons and lower slopes are much richer. We'll be sure to check out some lower stuff based on that suspicion. So glad to have these mature forests. Understory's looking okay, not too cramped and full of too much fuel. I wasn't sure what to expect. Imagine some portion of the Carson Range is burned recently. In fact, I saw parts that probably were from lower down towards the south. Maybe just on the California side, though. I don't know yet. But it's certainly a prone area. This is special. Just ran into an aspen grove. A dell. A running streamlet. Right around camp time. And I run into it just before the car. Calocedrus. Amongst the chinquapins and manzanitas and such. Firs. Only one I've seen a good day and a half. Much more like a true cedar than a juniper. Male cones up there. Bright orange. Female cones are worth a look at. I'm sure we'll run into those again. I'm eager to get to my hotel in Carson.